quick question. I'm just curious. You mentioned the hymns that were meant to be set to particular melodies. Are there any recordings of anybody singing
Oh, I
those?
think there is.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
remember right off the top of my head. I bet I can find one.
Okay, that'd be
I,
interesting.
I'm trying to get them published into a new hymnal, um,
Oh,
and all 21 of them.
oh,
I've written 7 more for the new thing that I'm working on, so there are 28 all told.
wonderful.
Um, and what I'm trying to do there is show people first what a hymn really is,
Uh-huh.
because so much of the stuff that's in the hymnals most often in use in the Catholic Church in English-speaking countries, so much of the stuff is as poetry. It's just garbage.
Yeah.
And people say, well, it's just a song. No, it's not just a song, right? I mean, it's garbage, and garbage has no place in the church. I'm not talking about, they don't have to be masterpieces, but they just have
Mhm.
not to be garbage. If you get some really good painter to paint scenes from the life of Christ in the interior of your church, it's not Michelangelo, it's not Raphael, it's not Caravaggio, but it's not garbage. Okay. I mean, you would never have somebody who really didn't know how to draw try to do that on the walls of your church. Why do you have people who can't write a poem pretend to write hymns for your hymnal? And they can't. That's not even touching the problems with what they're saying. It's, quite often it's either just sentimental slop or it's heretical. Um, that's a problem. But even before you get that, they don't know how to write a poem.
Just as
They
art.
don't know what the art is, and it is an art,
Right.
So I ask myself, can you use contemporary language? Although I permit myself the use, very convenient, of thou and thee and thine. It's very convenient, okay? And we still use those in our prayers, in the Hail Mary and the Our Father.
Mhm.
Allowing myself that, and it's more than convenient. I think in some cases it's actually necessary. But basically keeping to modern English. Uh, can you write intelligent poems that can be sung to melodies? And the answer to that question is yes, you can. You have to know what you're doing, but yes, you can. And so that's what I've tried to do. I want to set an example. I think that uh, people really don't know. They do not know what the old hymn writers were doing. Okay? They really have no idea. The old hymn writers, unless they were paraphrasing a psalm, they thought of themselves as writing a complete poem, and all the parts fit, and it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Things built up to the end, right? Everything had to do with everything else. It wasn't just what I've called piety salad. Um, you know, uh, word salad that's just pious. It wasn't that at all. And usually there were controlling images or motifs or themes that would unite everything in the poem. Nobody has contemporary writers that I see putting hymns in Catholic hymnals anyway. They have no idea that that's a thing to do. It's that they're not conscious that it's an art with a history, and that things supposed to have structure, it's supposed to make sense. In any case, if you don't mind, I will read one to you, if you don't mind.
Yes, please do.
Okay, I mean this is a passiontide hymn. This is a very simple one. The meter for this is the what's called common meter. It's just the common ballad meter for English poetry, with 4 strong beats, 3, 4, 3. Right. That's what the old hymnals will show with the abbreviation CM, common meter. Okay. This is passiontide, and it's the beginning of a 5 hymn block dealing with passiontide in the middle of the hundredfold. This is to be sung to the melody hoarsely, which is usually used for the old hymn. there is a green hill far away. Okay? Upon a barren hill I stood, beneath the open sky, beheld the world I loved so well grow like the grass and die. Nothing is new beneath the sun, and yet I loved it still, where poor men toil and travel on and never know their fill. On many a long and weary way, from many a lonely town, they seek a peace they cannot find, then lay their bodies down. One friend alone has come to me. All I have known of good dwells in the presence of the Lord, the body and the blood. He is my guide, my way, my bread, the peace come from above, who on a barren hill was slain for all the world I love.
Lovely.
See, one poem,
Yeah.
right? The poem
Love to hear those recordings.
tells a story, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the simplest of the hymns. Others are a good deal more complicated because they have more complicated melodies that they're set to, you know. But it's a wonderful thing because you can have all kinds of different hymns, hymns of triumph, hymns of battle, hymns of penitence, hymns of petition, hymns that tell story in the life of Christ, right? Or hymns that take an image from the Old Testament and see it all anew in the context of the New Covenant, in the context of Christ. All kinds of things that the old hymnists did. I'm aware of them because I've studied them, but our hymn writers aren't aware of them. They haven't studied them. And I think a lot of Catholics in the pews don't really know they don't really know what's in the attic. And it's a funny kind of thing. Let's suppose that you had somebody told you that in your attic right now, in a trunk, there are a couple of original paintings by Rembrandt. Okay, wouldn't you go up there and open the trunk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what we're like, you know. I mean, we've got an attic that's full of original sketches and paintings. A couple of them are by Rembrandt. A lot of them are by second rank artists who are really, really good, you know. There's none of them that's not good. And some of them are absolute masterpieces. And we say, well, it's just too much trouble to walk upstairs all the way to the attic and open up a trunk and wipe off the dust and look at something. Well, where's the remote control?
Right. Okay, so you are battling valiantly to restore something of this, of our Catholic treasures and our hymnody and art. Is there reason to be sanguine about this, some kind of restoration or renewal happening more widely in the church? I mean, I'm aware that, for instance, Archbishop Cordileone out in San Francisco has helped start the Benedict XVI Institute, which is aimed, as far as I know, at restoring the arts and all that. Are you involved with that?
They had me there to talk a couple of years ago.
Wonderful. Yeah. So I'm seeing like glimmers of activity here and there, and hope. Is there more out there happening? Do you see? Yeah,
I do. I do. I think it is picking up momentum. Yeah, and it's really kind of across the board too. There are some people, and I see Mrs. Nicolosi is here watching. There are some people who are trying to refocus us on classic films. They too, they don't have to be specifically religious. Most of them are not. But all those films that tell in a powerful way true stories about human beings, what it is to be a human being. I mean, That's uh, everything that's natural and that speaks the truth about mankind. That's all on our side. Okay? That's all on our turf. The devil doesn't want us watching
Right.
On the
Um,
waterfront
I'm
or 12 Angry
looking
Men.
through questions that we only have a few more minutes. So
Oh, okay. All right.
there was one question in particular I wanted to one of our participants, and it was a question about introducing young boys in particular to literature. So I wonder if you just say a quick word about that, because I know a lot of parents and grandparents, it seems to be boys in particular who are less likely to read. What can we do with that?
Well, first, get rid of those stupid handheld devices. And there is no reason why the kid needs a computer. 10-year-old boy doesn't need a computer. He needs a hammer and nails and boards. He needs a bicycle. He doesn't need a computer. Get rid of that stuff. Children don't need that. That'll just swallow them up. Okay. So first, get rid of that. Get rid of it. And then, when it comes to what the kid needs to be outside a lot. All right. The natural world is our friend. In decent weather, that kid should be outside all day, doing things, investigating, going out into the woods, playing, right? But when it comes to actual books, I think we know the answer to these questions, and we just, I don't know why we resisted, but look, so much literature that boys used to love. Treasure Island, Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, anything by Rudyard Kipling, younger boys, The Jungle Book, Kim, right? The swashbuckling novels by Raphael Sabatini that got turned into Hollywood movies in the 30s and 40s with Errol Flynn. I mean, we know the kinds of things that boys like. They like adventure stories. Jack London, even pagan that he was, The Call of the Wild, right? I mean, the Odyssey, right? The Odyssey, all these things, they're there. They're really there. I would avoid young adult fiction written after about 1980. A lot of that stuff is not very well written, and it's poisonous in a variety of ways. But my gosh, you don't have to go there. Look at Charles Dickens, right? Constantly writing about boyhood and young manhood. David Copperfield, Great Expectations. These for somewhat older kids, but not that much older. I mean, really young kids used to read sophisticated stuff. I know this because they say so in their letters in the 19th century. They say so, okay? And I get a pretty fair idea of, the kinds of conversations they have from their letters. And, this is not that difficult.
And and what about? I just want to mention real quick. You have a book that you wrote that would be for the parents of these boys, and it's called
Defending Boyhood. Yeah, it came out from Tan Books. This is what it looks like: Defending Boyhood, and the subtitle is How Building Forts, Reading Stories, Playing Ball, and Praying to God Can Change the World. It's got a picture of a home plate on it and some dirt and a baseball glove. Right-handed. Yeah. It's righty, not my glove.
So that's for the parents. So.
Yeah. And really, I mean, if your boys are in public school now, what's wrong with you? Get them out of there. Get them out of there. They're not learning anything there. Let's get them out. I've been finding out lately that all kinds of people, many of them boys, not all of them boys, some of them girls, just left school at age 12 or 13 or 14, 15, and then went on to be, Mortimer Adler left school at age 14. That didn't seem to hurt him, one of the great minds of the 20th century. Thomas Edison only spent a week or two in any formal school. The teachers didn't like how he kept asking, why is this, why is that? And they frustrated him, so his mother took him out of there. Edison was, working on the railroad, working in the telegraph at age 13. Let's not be bamboozled there's not a whole lot good that's going on in our schools.
Mhm.
And frankly, there's not a lot that's necessary. Your kid will learn to read by reading books. Okay. Your kid will learn to write by reading good books. Read to them.
It's
Yeah.
true. I have a nephew who's in the a doctoral program in philosophy, and he was unschooled by my brother and sister-in-law, and he just spent his childhood and adolescence reading books, and
Yeah. There we go.
he's
Yeah.
going to get a
Um,
PhD.
right.
So it
Um,
works.
read books. If you're interested in machines, work on machines. Uh, go in the woods, play ball, have a human life, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, what the heck? You think they're actually learning in the schools? They're not learning grammar. They're not learning geography. I mean, what? There are only two things wrong with our schools: everything that kids don't learn there, and everything that they do. Oh, and the social life is bad also. So there's three.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap up another delightful hour with you, Dr. Esolen. Thank you so much for being
Thank
with
you,
us
Chris. Thanks,
again.
Bob. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we hope to see you again soon. God bless.
God bless. Thanks.
Hi, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking on that red subscribe button and click that bell so you'll be notified when we upload new content. Check out all the links below for subscriptions to Inside the Vatican magazine and to the Moynihan letters, which is free to your inbox. You stay connected. It's content that you can get nowhere else. All that information is below. Thank you.